Oh man, this is exciting to me. Because I've been waiting to make a video ever since the 23rd and the 24th. Today is the 26th. I gotta pay my internet bill. The thing about it is that I've been waiting for this day because I really think that people today are going lunatic. And like I say, I don't care who you believe in. I don't care who you pray to. I don't give a fuck who you have faith to. You can have faith to a cat or a dog. I don't care. That's your choice. But the thing that really cracks me up is that I'm really believing that a lot of these religious beliefs of Christianity is coming out because after Charlie Kirk got shot, that's when a lot of people started coming out with this. Cause you just look at it, right? Charlie Kirk died at least about 2 weeks ago, right? Then you had the school shootings behind that from the anti-Nazi bull, and also you're having problems with these threats going on to these black colleges, and Donald Trump. Everybody believes Donald Trump is a Christian for some fucking reason, and he even said he's not. But you got a lot of these people that actually have this huge faith that he's a Christian, and he's not. He even admitted it. He don't even like being in churches. And the thing is that makes me laugh is I'm not laughing at the people that have faith in the rapture. It's just funny is that this has been going on for a very long time. Like you say, one person putting up bad problems, you got another one reading from scriptures. It's just ridiculous. Like why does God need all these things to come back? Like number one, God is not coming back. It's supposed to be Jesus that's supposed to come back. God never came to earth. It was only Jesus that came. His son came to earth. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, Jesus is not God. So why the fuck do people keep on talking about God coming back, knowing that it's supposed to be Jesus that's come back? Because he's the one that risen from the grave, and he's the one that said he's going to come back. But people think it is God. Like, is Jesus God? Like, please answer my question for me because, like I said before, I don't believe in religion. I hate religion. I used to be a religious person when I was young, because I used to go to church all the time with my grandmother. My grandma used to force me to go to church. Sorry, grandma, please don't slap on me, but it's true. She used to force me to go to church, and I had to sit there for hours in a hot ass fucking building with no air conditioner. We had to eat their food, and we had to leave and come back, and I had to dress in that tight ass suit, and it was ridiculous. Like just for what? Like, what do I need to dress up and be all formal to go to church? And why do I need to be in a building for hours when it says in the Bible God's church is everywhere? Like, I don't get it. Like then they make you pay money. You got to pay to go to church, and that's crazy thing. That's a crazy shit. Then you get these churches going bigger and bigger and bigger. But let me go back to what I was saying about the rapture that didn't happen. Now a lot of people that are Christians, they want to just not talk about it no more. They are so upset that it didn't happen because they wanted to prove people wrong. Why are you trying to prove people wrong that God exists? Everybody knows he doesn't exist. Jesus probably existed because a lot of Jesuses and Jesus in that time frame of Jerusalem and Bethlehem. Yes, he probably did exist. No, I don't believe he did any miracles. I believe that during that time of the way how prophecy was and how they always had these prophets roaming around all the fucking time, because that's all the Romans saw was prophets. They actually crucified a lot of prophets, a lot of fake prophets. And Pontius Pilate, which people think Pontius Pilate was this guy that loved Jesus. He didn't love Jesus at all. He didn't care nothing about him. All he cared about was his power. And even Herod didn't even care nothing about the Jews. He didn't even care nothing about Jesus. He was trying to get Jesus killed. So how is it that all these motherfucking people persecuted him, and next thing you know, he said he saved all these people from their sins? Listen, let me tell you something, right? At that time during Jerusalem, the Romans actually were in control of Jerusalem and the Jews. Think about it. Jesus didn't die for the world's sin. He only died for the sins of the people that were there, that were persecuting him. He said, why God don't think that they do? Yeah, because he was talking about the people that were sitting there, the Romans, and also the other people that were persecuting and throwing rocks at him, spitting on him. That's the reason why I believe that he was saving his sins. It was never to save the world. Because what was that? How many people was on earth around that time? Think about it. Earth was at its infancy around that time. How many people were in America? How many people were in Brazil? How many people were in Australia? How many people were around the world at that time? Remember, it was that many kingdoms. Egypt was around that time. And many other kingdoms were around that time, were very small kingdoms. So how is it that he saved everybody from sin? It don't make any sense to me. Now, and you got people just coming out of nowhere. Like, it's like a cult to me. It's like a cult, because if you believe in something, I understand, but you keep it to yourself. Why do you have to try to spread it to everybody, to make everybody believe, to make everybody follow? That's a cult. A cult is when somebody else is telling you to come join and make you believe that things are going on as they say they believe, because they're living in a fantasy. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking on any culture or any belief system. Like I said, religion has not existed long. People got to understand, thousands and thousands of years before God was ever existed and created in the minds of people, there was no such thing as religion. You know, it was just people praying to rocks, stones, clouds, stars, lightning, volcanoes, seas. That was the gods that they prayed to. And then they started creating actual spiritual gods like Zeus, Hercules, and many other motherfuckers that were created. Then Nefertiti and her husband created the first god that actually was one god. That was the sun god, Ra. And then after that, after they were killed and murdered, or kidnapped and murdered, they, the Egyptians took back their religion and made it back into the religion they were praying to stones. And Roman, which during that time of Constantine, which people forgot about Constantine, which people don't want to remember Constantine, rewritten the Bible. So actually, when you had other scriptures that were millions of scriptures that are out there, there were like 80-something books. 66 different authors just wrote this book. So you had priests, kings, you had popes, you had rabbis, you had all these motherfuckers sitting around a table trying to choose what they could put in this book, because the book was so big, they wanted to shrink the book. And they wanted to start off with Genesis and work their way up until, they could have the New Testament, where that was down years, like centuries later, of King, I think King, whatever his fucking name is, that one that slept with his mother, and had King James, the one that slept with his mom, and had kids with his mom. You know what I mean? And he was a molester. And you understand that David, Paul, and all of them, there wasn't only disciples. There were female disciples too, but they don't even talk about the female disciples that Jesus had. They just cut them out. They only talk about Mary Magdalene and Mary, but they don't talk about the other disciples that he had with female. You know what I mean? He had more female disciples than males. And they don't even want to talk about it. Because you know why? They despise women. That's why I always say they need to keep women out of the Bible and keep away from women from religion. Because they despise women. Because the book is a man book. It was written by man. Why don't people understand? Like, all the laws across the land, around the world, all written by men. So the Bible was written by men. So you know that God is going to be a man. Regardless of what you think, that if a woman could be God, they will wipe that away and say, oh, it can't be. Jesus was a virgin, which they don't want you to believe that Jesus probably had some motherfucking children, because he did get married, and he had Mary Magdalene as his wife. But they choose to not tell you that because they want Mary Magdalene to be a prostitute, which a lot of people don't even think she's a prostitute. They believe Mary Magdalene was just coming from her land, and she got caught up with some shit when she came in, because she was never known. When you come from another land, we call Mary Magdalene, because remember, they didn't have last names. They used where they came from as their last name. So when she came into probably wherever she was to be Jesus, they probably thought she was a prostitute. And they probably tried to stone her, and Jesus saved her life. Because they thought she was a prostitute, and she wasn't a prostitute. How could a woman come from somewhere the fuck else, not be married at that time, to be a prostitute? And I don't even think prostitution even existed around that time. Because I don't even think prostitute even had a name. And if they did, it was probably because they had it in probably kingdoms. Because they had a lot of shit going on in kingdoms. Now, she was just a regular woman coming from where she came from to travel to a new part of the land. She met Jesus. They didn't like that shit, and they tried to stone her to death because they didn't like her. And I believe that's the reason why. And another thing I believe, the reason why that people follow these religions, because they think that because Jerusalem is the birthplace of Jesus, they believe that that's the only place that Jesus cares about. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And war is going to be in Jerusalem with the devil. Like, come on. These things are created. The book was written so many fucking times and rewritten so many times. And you ask a Christian, why do they follow Jesus? They never can answer your question. They ask you, do he really exist? Have you ever seen him? He only talks to you. Like this woman on I forgot what it was. It was on Facebook, on TikTok. She was talking in tongue. Talking about, oh, God speaking through me. I'm looking at this woman like this woman is absolutely motherfucking crazy. Because why would God speak in an English language? Like, how would he learn English? Because remember, back at them times, they were speaking Aramaic and Latin at that time. So how the hell he gets to know how to speak English? And English was created by man. Like, this is the thing I don't understand. This is the reason why I don't believe in God, because people will say God existed. Well, how if he existed? Oh, because he created you. How the hell you know he created me? How the hell you know? Because you talk about Adam and Eve. What happened to Adam and Eve? What happened to them? They got kicked out. They got kicked out of Eden. For what? Because Adam got tricked by his own freaking wife. Well, not even his wife, because they weren't even married. It's just that Adam lusted for Eve and wanted to have sex with Eve so fucking bad, but they wasn't allowed to. And then when he got kicked out of Eden, then he had sex with her. And then he had a whole bunch of kids with her. But he was lusting for her, so he did anything for her. I mean, if he would have said, look, don't eat the apple, don't eat the alligator, he would have ate the alligator. Because that's what he lusted for. He lusted for Eve. So basically, he didn't do the same thing for Lilith, because they don't talk about Lilith, because they like to talk about Lilith being an incubus, because Lilith didn't want to sleep with Adam. Didn't want to lay down on Adam, or didn't want to actually submit to Adam. So all these Christians hated Lilith because she wouldn't submit to man. And this is the reason why I don't understand. Why are these books always positioned for men? That's why I say women need to stay away from the Bible. Because women were persecuted. Women were torn down. Women were actually beaten down through the Bible. And if you read the Bible, women were treated like trash. Or you really didn't hear anything really about women in the Bible, period. And women are just, I believe women follow because men are doing it. Men are doing it. Or men are trying to tell them they should follow. Because they need cults. These cults need people to follow. Regardless if God was a tree, if God was a rock. People would, like, if God was a rock, people would have a whole bunch of rocks in their house. Because they believe in something that they can't see. And like I said before, it could be a ghost in your house, carrying up your shit. It could be a poltergeist. Buffalo, it could be a poltergeist in your house, carrying all your shit up. And you still won't believe that ghost is tearing your shit up. But you believe God is out there, right? You believe God is a spirit, but you won't believe no poltergeist is in your house, tearing your house up. Like this one woman said, oh, I don't believe in magic. Well, what do you think God had done when he was down? What do you think Jesus done when he was up there, healing people? He used magic. And the same way as cursing is the same thing as magic. Cursing is a magic, it's a spell. So basically, we're doing cursing, we're doing sin when we curse. Because it's a spell. So these motherfuckers thinking, my fault. People thinking, or this religion has been so bad throughout time, and how the murder, raping, all this stuff that this religion has created. They want to talk about the freaking Islam religion. Now you might as well talk about the Christian religion too, because the Christian religion was far worse than the Islam religion. You didn't really start hearing about Islam really doing things like terrible until later down the road. Christian religion is far worse. They spread more blood than anybody the fuck else. And they always will use it as a way of saying, well, this is what God wanted us to do. He wanted us to go to war. He wanted us to do this. This is what it says in the Bible, because Bible is a war book. It's a war book. That's all it is. Like, it's the actual war book. God despises people. If you don't listen to him, he despises you, and he will actually get you, he will get you to disappear. Like, he had done that so many times in the Bible. And people only want to read scriptures that say that he's a good God, but they don't read the other scriptures that they have about him. You know what I mean? What he said about, even King David. David was a violent motherfucking person. He had war throughout his whole time being alive. Ever since he killed Goliath, he was going to war with every fucking body. And God told him to do this. It's crazy. Like, how is it that you believe in something that you can't see? How? How can you believe in something? Because everybody says faith. So you have a faith in something that you can't see. Something that you never, ever will see. People say they see God in dreams. What do you see God as? Do you see him as black? Do you see him as Puerto Rican? Do you see him as Asian? Do you see him as Chinese? Because we're going to see him as what we believe the way he looks. Because sometimes people believe that he's black. Because like I said, black people took a white religion and try to make it to their own. And black people have been doing this for a very long time. Every single time something goes on, we take something from somebody else and we try to make it to our own. And then we try to change it. Because black people are the highest people. Blacks are the only ones that are the highest of 69% of following. I think it's like 69% or 70% that follow the religion more than anybody on the planet. More than whites. How do we get from our culture of our own belief system to follow behind a cult of people that forced us into a religion throughout not just slavery, but before slavery, when they came into Africa and they changed our kingdoms into Christian kingdoms by bringing the cross and everything and making blacks believe that if you give up your land to God, because remember, They were giving up their cars. They were giving up everything to go for a rapture. So just imagine if they told the king the same fucking thing. Listen, you need to give up your land to God. You know where to get the land to? They had to get the land to the white man, because they're the ones that presented themselves as God. Yeah, they were carrying around these shields with the cross on it, and they had these big ass motherfucking white motherfucking Jesus hanging on a cross. Yes, and even if you go into these motherfucking churches today, that's on every corner, you know that you have a white Jesus inside that motherfucking black church, because that's what black people see Jesus as. No, we don't see him as a black man. We see him as a white man, because even if you look at the glass they have hanging on their wall, Jesus is white. That's it. We were taught how to become cultists through learning about their religion, but once they painted a picture of who Jesus was, because they got pictures of him all over the place, and they don't have real actual pictures of this motherfucker. Like, they have paintings of him, but all the paintings are the same. Him with a beard, him with long straight hair, and blue eyes, and he's clean. You know what I mean? He's a clean man. But the thing is, he was poor. He had no money. He had to work to be a carpenter to make money, and he had to make furniture for rich people to make money. You know what I mean? He barely could get around. Like, he needed to leave his mom to go out there to make money. He actually made money off of the teachings. He didn't do teachings for free. People think that motherfucker did teaching for free. No, he didn't. He made money off of that. Because he had to make money to find places to stay, like room and board, because the disciples wasn't paying for that shit. The disciples were poor. There's only one woman that actually was rich, and I forgot her name. She was a singer. She followed Jesus. She was one of his disciples. She's the one that paid for every fucking thing. But they don't talk about her. They don't talk about this woman. Because you know why they don't talk about her? Because I believe in the Bible, they don't like women. And this is why I always tell women to leave the Bible alone. Because they don't want y'all praying to a man. Why would you be up there praying to a man? Like, why would women be up there submitting themselves to a man that they never fucking seen? Only the man that created them, created this God, which God's been around for a very long time, because the word God is Greek, and it's been around for a very fucking long time. Just throughout history, there were plenty gods, many gods. The Egyptians got so many fucking gods, it's ridiculous. And you got the Mayans, you got the Aztecs, you got all these motherfuckers that believe, and even the Greeks and the Romans and many other that followed their religion of God or gods. Now we had to cut down to one God. Why? Why do we cut down to one God? Why do we need one God? Why? I always ask Christians that. Why do we need to pray to one God for? Why can't we pray to many gods? Why can't we pray to the ocean? Why can't we pray to the stars? Why can't we pray to the sky? People say, well, that's God. Well, if it's God, then, well, let me pray to make me believe that, prove it to me. Because I haven't been proven at all that he exists. I'm not going to read a book and say, okay, he exists to a book. Oh, he will one day through the rapture. But he's not going to, but the rapture means that he's not going to show himself to me. He's going to show yourself to y'all. So I won't be able to go to heaven, right? Because I'm a sinful person, right? Because I'm not a Christian, which I still don't understand how God is going to take just Christians and don't take normal people. It doesn't make any sense. This has been going on for a very long time. I heard this ever since I was young. That you got to be a Christian in order to go to heaven. And in order to not be judged, you got to be a Christian. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So all these other religions, not even people not even in religion, that actually believe in God, they don't have to be in religion, can't go to heaven. Because you got to pronounce yourself to him just because he tells you to. A book tells you you have to go and give yourself up to him. A book. Not him telling you himself, coming down saying, listen, dog, I need you, and all you to pray to me. Oh, Jesus did it. Jesus did it like 3,000 years ago. Well, I never met Jesus, and the people that met Jesus are dead, and they don't have no proof that he even existed, because they don't have nobody. Well, they said his whole body went to heaven. Well, it could have been some type of evidence that he existed, but a book tells you that he exists. A book. And that's the crazy part about it. Like, you don't believe half of the books you read, right? Because most of them are fiction, right? But you watch movies. You know the movies, they're going to tell you the whole true story about the movie. It's going to tell you some false shit about the movies. Let's take, I think, the Temptations. Let's take the Temptations, right? The boy was saying that died in Philly. They say he died in Chicago. I forgot his fucking name. He was a real good singer. He's the one that left the group, came back to the group, talking about he was better than everybody in the group. I made the group. I forgot his Gruffin. I think it's Gruffin or Griffin or something like that. That motherfucker, they told a lie in the movie and said that he died in Chicago. Really, he died in Philadelphia in a crack house. So you will sit there and watch that movie and actually believe that this man died in Chicago, which he did not. Just like if you open up a book and you read the Bible and say, okay, this is what happened, but there's no proof. There was no proof of the Noah's flood. There was no proof of any of these things. And I don't even like science, but it's just the truth that if you want honesty and you want truth, why did he make these religions and force you into believing in something? Because you got all these people talking about the rapture, yeah, happened 2 days ago. Oh, you're going to go to heaven. Oh, we're going to leave this earth and we're going to go to heaven. But people that didn't believe it, people say, oh, they're making jokes about it. No, we wasn't making jokes about it. We were absolutely honest that y'all are crazy. Y'all just can't put fiction into reality because reality exists. That's why I'm like, how does people don't believe they exist? And you do exist. There's some people I believe here believe the earth is flat. There's people out there that believe that the devil is all around us and he's up here making everybody do evil shit, but people can't sit there and say they do things them damn selves because this is what we are. We're human. But you're going to have a big ass ship coming pretty soon in November talking about aliens are going to come here. That's the next thing that's coming. First is the rapture. Now is the aliens. Like, what the fuck is going on with this country? And I always believe it's that damn fucking needle that they gave us in 2020. Because there's no way in the world people are acting the way they do. And after Charlie Clark died, everything just changed. Now everybody is a Christian. They don't like the fact that he died. Oh my God, how dare you talk about him? He was a good man. Oh, but he did a lot of bad things that probably won't get him into heaven. He talked bad about black people. People say he's telling the truth. Why does white people have to tell the truth? But when we tell the truth about them, they don't want to hear it. If we tell them that you took this land from the Native Americans and won't y'all go back to Europe, y'all won't go back to Europe. But you'll tell a black man to go back to Africa. It doesn't make any sense to me. But you want us to pray to your God. Like you've been doing for the past 200 years. Not thousands of years. You try to force us to pray to your God. And like I said, black people are the only ones that do care about God more than anybody the fuck else. We take that religion, made it into our own, and we don't want to give it back to the white man. Because they're the ones that created the religion. They're the ones that forced us into the religion. They're the ones that told us if we don't pray to your God, we could actually get hurt over that. We were actually beaten, whipped, we were actually slaughtered, we were hung, all these things in the name of God. Come on, man. Even in the courts, they lied in the courts, talking about we raped their women, and knowing that we didn't do a goddamn thing, but we still go to jail or we still get lynched. Come on, man. This is the reason why I understand why us black people why we actually believe in this bullshit. And it's not a fact that people can't believe in what they want to believe. It's just that it's just bullshit to me. Because we carrying a burden on our chest for really about 10,000 years. 6,000 years we ruled this planet without nobody fucking with us. 6,000 years of ruling this planet without nobody fucking with us. And then a white man comes along and tells us, listen, dog, we can give you everything if you just follow our religion. Here, you see this white man right here? He's a great white man. We are trying to change your kingdom into a powerful kingdom. We want your kingdom to be great. You know, Africans couldn't speak English. They spoke a native tongue. So they didn't understand. Plus, they had a translator. Translator really couldn't speak really good African because they had a white translator or they had a black translator that had been enslaved for years. And they tried to change his whole life around. And they'd be like, okay, well, we're going to give you this. The king probably like, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for my kingdom. And next thing you know, they give them the kingdom, and the kingdom is destroyed because they enslaved the people that gave them the kingdom and forced blacks to fight Muslims. They try to make black Africans fight the Muslims because they didn't like the Muslims' religion, so they try to make the black fight for them. A promise. A promise of what? We'll go to heaven? Like, come on, man. We're living in hell every fucking day, dog. This is hell. Why would I want to go through a rapture to be taken somewhere, to see somebody that don't even show their face and sin? You know God doesn't show his face to nobody. Oh, because we can see Jesus. Oh, you're going to see Jesus in that white-ass beard, that motherfucking long-ass hair, some blue fucking eyes? Come on, man. This is what we portray. We believe white people will always be over top of us because we're afraid to speak up. if we stay out of their shit and we go back to what we used to do before we actually got enslaved, we would be better off. This is the reason why we had a whole bunch of money. This is the reason why we own land. This is the only reason why we almost boarded up the whole fucking continent. Because, number one, black people were working and building their own shit. Then the white man wanted to destroy every fucking thing that we built. And then you had white people try to make black people blame black people for what we go through. And knowing that for 200 years, not just 200 years, thousands of years, because I could put the Arabs in there too, because they're the first ones to have slaves, African slaves. Then you had the Native Americans that were here. Then you had the Mexicans that were here. They owned half of the West and the South. And guess what they did? They invaded Mexico, and they took Mexico from the Mexicans, and they took California, Texas, and New Mexico, and many other parts of the state away from them. Then they built the border wall to tell the Mexicans they should stay out. They did the same thing to the Native Americans when they came there. They fought the Native Americans through war. After they fought the Native Americans through war, took them to the trials of tears. Then they displaced them, gave them reservations, and they forced them to marry their motherfucking white motherfuckers. And then most of the women were taken to Europe to be slaved. And how does the black man really believe that the white man really cares about us? Hell no. Never. They will never care nothing about us. They could take everything they want from us and make us be starving to death. Because Hitler did it to his people. Hitler did it to his people. The Romans did that to their people after they fucking lost, after they went bankrupt. After Julius Caesar died, they had to try to split the country together, but they didn't have enough money because Julius Caesar gave everybody fucking money. He gave money away to everybody. So they went bankrupt. This country is doing the same motherfucking thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just like how Rome was. He reminds me so much of fucking Julius Caesar. Everybody talk about Julius Caesar was a good man, but he also disliked certain people. And he ruled this country with an iron fist. And the thing is, you can't believe a man is a savior. This man is not a savior. This man is going to destroy this country little by little. With people thinking he's not going to do that because you guys say, well, give him time. Why would you give a man 4 years, which he might not even survive 4 years because he's sick? You give him 4 years in this country, he's going to die. And you're going to have Pence, you're going to have, Vance next. Is it funny that you got Vince and Pence at the same time? Pence was the vice president. He had almost a similar name. But this country, the people that follow religion, they follow religion without understanding what religion is. And like I said before, if you don't do your own history, you don't know anything about anything, because history really tells you the truth about things, which people try to block out the truth because they don't want to know anything about the truth. Because like I said, the truth is more fearful than a lie. People love lies. Like, you can tell a person a lie right now, they'll accept a lie before they accept the truth. And like I said before, people believe God exists, and I don't believe he exists. I don't. People say, well, you're going to go to hell. Well, I'm just going to go to hell then. Shit, it's probably more comfortable being in the hell where they're going to send me than up here, where I'm at now. I mean, living through pain and agony and suffering, which God could snap his fingers right now and take everything he wants from everybody if he really wanted to. He could take man's life if he wanted. He could destroy this planet with a snap of a finger. This planet won't even exist if you snap his fingers. But why would he want his people to suffer? Why is black people the only one that suffer? No other culture suffers except blacks. But the thing about it is that we hold on to another culture. We're holding on because we were slaves. And I always believe black people hold on through slavery because we're still products of being slaves. And we're still brainwashed. And our brains will never ever be the same when we were out there fighting to keep these religions out of our kingdoms. We actually fought the actual Romans. We fought we fought the French, the Portuguese, we fought the Dutch. We fought them in war. Even though we didn't have the proper equipment to fight, they came back with motherfucking cannons and shit, guns, and mostly killed most of the Africans. We fought in their wars. We actually sacrificed ourselves to fight their enemy. That's some crazy shit. We actually fought Hitler, and Hitler was not even our fucking enemy. Because Hitler actually believed that black people were the second coming of the Jews. He even said it himself. He never had no resentment against black people. They want you to believe that he had resentment towards black people. He never did. He wanted to know why black people were fighting a war for people that enslaved you. Even the fucking Who else said the same thing? The Vietnamese said the same thing. They were dropping pamphlets all over, leaving signs everywhere, and telling black people to go the fuck home. And why are you fighting a war for people that had you in slave chains? That's some crazy shit that people are trying to tell you to go home and leave, and asking you why you fighting the white man's war. The people that had you in slave chains, they're telling you to leave. But black people wanted to continue to leave, wanted to continue to fight. Say, oh, I'm not from Africa. Okay, you wasn't born in Africa, but your ancestors was. And your ancestors went through a lot to get here. You know what I mean? And they went through a lot to be brainwashed, and they had their lives taken away from them, and had their language taken away from them, everything taken away from them. You know what I mean? We had to fight to get where we are. Even after emancipation, 3 years later, black people knew they were free. After the emancipation. And then we sat there trying to figure out what we were going to do, because we couldn't really go anywhere because we wasn't even citizens. And I keep on telling black people we were never citizens of this country when we were free. That's the crazy part. They locked us up, threw us in jail, made us do free slave labor. They used to lynch black people for no fucking reason, not just in the South. They used to do that all over the place. And they used to have parties. They used to have parties. They used to have fucking, they used to have kids come out and have picnics and watch black people get lynched. Kids up there pointing, smiling, while we were up there being hung from a rope. This is what black people don't understand. Religion is based on what they gave us throughout slavery. They kept on telling us the same thing, the same scriptures and everything like they do inside of a church. Because when you go outside, you see every church on a corner. You see these churches on every corner. You don't even see churches in white neighborhoods like that. You don't see a church in every corner in a white neighborhood. Like you don't see a Chinese store in a white neighborhood. But you see Chinese stores in black neighborhoods, and you see a church right next to the motherfucking Chinese store. Or across the street from the Chinese store. Because black people accept these things. We accept it. Because we believe if we don't follow the white man and what they had done, we just accept it. They're going to hate us. They're not going to give us food stamps. They're not going to give us disability. They're not going to give us anything. They're going to take everything. Well, we were redlined. We had to go through civil rights movement. We had to go through so much, man. We had to go through the violence. Violence to this very day. We had to go through watching people get their asses whipped. You know what I mean? Like George Floyd and many other people that got their asses whipped. And then people want to say, oh, well, what about Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter was something that just happened. And they're trying to forget that. Like and Donald Trump is trying to take slavery away from black people. And he's trying to get rid of the Native Americans and their history. For what? Because you want to make this country look good? Well, the Romans did the same thing when they created Christianity. When they created Christianity, they wanted to get all that dirt out underneath their fucking fingernails and blood and shit that they shed throughout their history. So they created Christianity. So they wanted to follow a God to make themselves look good and clean. So they just say, we're going to talk bad about the Egyptians to make the Egyptians look bad, to make us look good. Even though the Romans were actually the ones that had Jew people in slavery. You know what I mean? If you ever watched the movie The Passion, they actually show you that shit. When they show you the movie Passion, The Passion of Christ, they show you that shit. But like I said before, they deny, religion denies shit. It tells you nothing about, they tell you, say, oh, well, we got a little paragraph about black people. Why is it like the Constitution got a little paragraph about black people? It tells you these rules and stuff, and everything's created equal, but they're not talking about black people. They're talking about everybody around the world that comes to this country as an immigrant. Everybody's created equal, not just black people. So that's the reason why black people believe everything is given to us. This country never gave a shit. They gave us shit because they want us to be quiet. They didn't want us to protest. They didn't want us to riot. They didn't want us to go out there and fight. They didn't want us to do any of that shit. That's why they gave us shit. To keep us quiet. You know what I mean? We had to fight for loans. We had to fight for everything. Everything we got to fight for. They don't give us nothing for fucking free. They give the poorest motherfucking white people, which they're white people that are poorer than black people. They're called the Irish. Really, really, really fucking poor. And they get more food stamps than black people that struggle every day to try to find a job. And they're the poorest of the poorest. And they say white people are the only really ones that actually depend. They are the ones that depend more on food stamps and many other things than black people do. That's why they need Jesus, dog. They need a religion. They need a religion for somebody to blame something on. Like they use the devil to blame the devil for every fucking thing. The devil's doing everything to make people look bad. Not people internally doing things themselves that are destroying this planet that God supposedly gave us. We want to go to Mars, but we can't even stay on this planet. People say, oh, this guy's like, yeah, I'm about to go home. Where the fuck are you going? Your home is Earth. They believe their home is heaven. You didn't come from heaven. The fuck are you talking about? You didn't come from heaven. Your home is Earth. This is where you were created. This is the planet you live on. This is the planet you're supposed to take care of. This is like your pet. It's supposed to be like your dog and your cat. You're supposed to be taking care of this planet, but we don't take care of this planet. I swear to God, it's that fucking needle. And I believe Charlie Kirk really starts some shit. Because everybody want to be a Christian now. Christianity is talked about more than ever talked about. Like I said, a few years ago, nobody was talking about Christianity. Now everybody's coming out, Rapture, God this, pray the book, open your book, pray to God, God bless you, hallelujah, talking in tongues. Oh, like, what the fuck? I see the devil in you. See the devil in me? Like, what the fuck? You see the devil in who? Because, honestly, if you're going to talk about the thing with the red tail and the horns, that was created through the Greeks. And the real devil, honestly, you don't want to talk about the real devil, because the real devil, honestly, has more heart than God. The real devil. I mean, he waits for you to get your soul. God actually wants to destroy man as when man is not listening to him. If you're not listening to him, he's going to be mad and he's going to try to hurt you. Look at the flood. Look at Pompeii. Look at all these places that he destroyed. And he killed a lot of children too. And a lot of women. And this is just the fucking truth. You can look it the fuck up because it's in the Bible. But people don't want to read them scriptures because those scriptures will make people think like, damn, this motherfucker really he really is violent. Because people are afraid of him. Why do you need to fear God? Why? He's supposed to be a good and honest, loving God. Why do you need to fear him? Why does man fear something that they can't even fucking see? I mean, you can't see him. He doesn't show his face to sin. How the fuck are you afraid of him? Why do you give yourself up to him if you don't ever met him before? It's like you met him like a few years ago, then you gave yourself up to him because you met him, you saw him, you shook his hand, and you sat down and talked to him. People say, well, he talks to me. Talks to you what? Because he whispers in your ear? I mean, because you know, people have this sense of saying that all the time, like, yeah, he's spoken to me. But how did he speak to you? What language did he speak to you in? What language? Because you're telling me God spoke to you in English? Because the Bible is really the Greek version. Honestly, if they didn't have English, we would have been reading the Greek version of the Bible. And nobody reads Greek. So they made the Greek version into English. That's the reason why we can read the Bible. Because you had the Aramaic Bible, and you had many other Bibles that had many other different types of factions of language. So how the fuck do this man, whoever he is, sit there and talk to you? He's speaking to you in English? Are you serious? This is a belief system that people put in their mind from fantasy. Because there's no way that God speaks English. He doesn't. It is no way that he speaks English. We don't even know how to speak another language. So how is it that if he comes down right now and he starts speaking to you into another language, you can sit up there like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because he doesn't speak English. We make things up because we believe that he is talking to us. Like our mom, another spirit could be talking to us, our mother, our father, our grandmother. The spirits that are actually roaming around that we could feel might be the people that died that we used to love, that are trying to keep in contact with us. Those are probably the ones that speak to us. But we believe is God. Because that's our fantasy. We want to talk to him so bad. We want to see him so bad. We want to be with him so bad. We use fantasy instead of reality. And I always say that's what people do. And this is what we created. We created a fantasy. Because there's no proof that he exists. Because how is it that he created this planet, but you got like a trillion other stars out there, planets out there? You don't think he cares about anything about them planets out there that have probably life on them, just like us? Oh, he's just worried about Earth because we're living in a solar system with nobody in the solar system except us. We got 8 planets that's circling a star, and we're the only ones that's on a planet with life. So we think that God only cares about this planet, and the other planets that are out there that are billions and billions beyond billions of light years, probably not away, but probably not that far from us, because there's solar system right next to us, and it might have life on it. They got an Earth they just found not that long ago that's bigger than our Earth, might have life on it. But the thing about it is, they will tell you that it's not. They'll tell you the Earth is flat, and it's all the other planets that circle Earth, and the dome is right there. That's why we can't go out into space, knowing that you have a whole bunch of satellites that are fucking surrounding the motherfucking planet Earth, like millions of satellites that actually falling back down to Earth too. But people believe, oh, we didn't go to the moon. I don't believe that we went to the moon. No, I don't believe that we didn't. Well, I believe that we didn't go to the moon. But the thing about it is, I believe that they went outside of orbit of Earth. They just couldn't go to the ionosphere because of all that radiation. But the thing is, I said it wrong. Not the ionosphere. I forgot what you call it, where all the radiation is, which they probably could never survive because they didn't have that type of protection to actually go past that or move fast enough to get past that, all that radiation. And they probably would have ended up dying anyway. But I don't believe they went to the moon. I believe they're trying to go to the moon now because now they have the experience, the technology to go to the moon, which they're trying to go to the moon so they can go to the moon, to sit on the moon for a couple of years to go to Mars, because you need to sit on, I think it's about 6 years, 7 years before you be able to get in orbit with Mars, and then they'll fly to Mars. But that's going to be a long time from now, because that's what Musk is trying to do right now. He's trying to go to Mars, but he's trying to start a civilization on the moon. See, we're going to go to one planet to another and bring the religion to that planet too. Then we're going to bring the religion on the moon, and we're going to bring the religion to fucking Mars. Like they probably had a religion on Venus, because I believe that we lived on Venus at one point. Because all that fucking shit that's on Venus, and Venus is like half the size of Earth. And it looks just like Earth. If you clear up all that motherfucking shit on Venus, it looks just like Earth. And I believe that we probably lived on Venus. Or the white man probably lived on Venus, destroyed Venus, and came to Earth. Because Earth is not that far from, Venus is not that far from Earth. And they flew in a spaceship here. There's a reason why they believe there's a spaceship coming here. Because the white man said so. Now, this black man that said there was a rapture, he was up there trying to make it look like that he was not wrong. Like, for saying what he said. To have all these millions of people around the world get all stirred up to go stand outside, half naked, or giving them all their possessions to wait for God to come back. For the last 2 days, it's so sickening that you've seen all these other people get mad at other people that saying, oh, you were wrong. So why can't y'all stand up to being wrong? If y'all believe in the rapture, it's going to happen regardless, because you're not going to know it's going to fucking happen. It says it in the Bible. Not even God's son knows he's going to come back. So why the fuck do people keep on talking about this rapture shit? It has been going on. They did it five times. This rapture talk was doing 5 times, and they just can't just leave it alone. People want to go to heaven so bad. Why won't you commit suicide? I'm sorry. YouTube, you're going to probably take me down. I don't care. Why won't you do that? It's much easier to hurt yourself than wait. People are dying every motherfucking day from diseases, gunshots, all this stuff. But people are waiting for a rapture. Oh, we can go the right way. What do you mean go the right way? What do you mean go the right way? Because number one, I still don't understand how God will take a whole fucking human to heaven and won't take the soul. Knowing the devil wants your soul, but God wants a whole human. It doesn't make any fucking sense. This is why I don't care about religion. Because they make up shit. Oh, if you're being taken up in the sky, make sure you hold on to something. What? Oh, I'm a little nervous because I'm going to be taken up into heaven, and it's a long way up. Like I watched this movie one time. It was a good movie. It was about the rapture. Now, they actually showed what would happen if a rapture actually happened. People died. People disappeared. People just disappeared. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? And then something happened to the earth right after that. But see, they sat there and want you to believe that people that are non-Christians are bad people because we don't follow the word or we don't follow God. But people have done so many good things in their life, they don't need a Bible or God to be praying to go to heaven. If God already sees that you're doing well in your life and you're doing things that you're supposed to do in your life, like take care of your responsibilities in life, you change yourself into a better person, and you take care of your family, you take care of people that you're supposed to take care of, God sees that. So why the fuck he need all these scriptures and books and horns and and trumpets and shit to be blown for him to come the fuck back? Just because you see the Passion of Christ, he blew the horn and destroyed, what do you call it? When they blew the horn so you could rebuild the whatever he had to rebuild. I forgot what it was. It was destroyed and rebuilt for the trumpets. They believe that the trumpets are going to blow again. And what's it going to destroy? Oh, it's going to destroy, I forgot, it's going to destroy Jerusalem, because they believe the horns are going to destroy Jerusalem and Jerusalem's going to be rebuilt, or they're going to give us a new earth. See, I don't understand these people. Why do we need to have all this shit for somebody to come back? Popping up the fucking scroll. You need 5 or 6 scrolls open. You need to read this. You need to read that. You need numbers this, number that, 5 numbers, 10 numbers, 20 numbers. This woman read out a fucking whole number. Like, she kept talking about numbers and numbers and numbers. 666 equal 1,000 and something. I'm sitting up there looking at this motherfucker like, are you fucking serious? All this shit for God to come back. If you actually figure out 2,000 years since Jesus' death, you should know when he might come back by adding it up from the time he died until now. Not adding up all these fucking numbers to say he's going to come back and say, oh, God's coming back right now because he's, 10 plus 10 equals 10. Like, yeah, there you go. That's it. 15 plus 15 equals 15. Yeah, there you go. He's coming back because 666 equals 666. Come on, man. What the fuck? Like I said, you can believe whoever you want to believe, but this system is coming. This belief system is trash. Christianity was created for a name to follow God and Jesus. God never said he was a Christian. Jesus never said he was a Christian. So why do people believe that he only takes Christians into heaven when he never announced that he's a Christian? He never said it in the Bible. God never said it in the Bible. Never even announced themselves through these books that were written that he was a Christian. But you got people want this man to be a Christian so bad. Like, why? So you can actually feel that he is going to give you all the power. Like, come on. This is the reason why people are atheists. I'm not an atheist. I'm not an atheist. No, I don't believe God exists, but I'm not an atheist. And the only reason why I say that because I want proof. I'm not going to sit up there and get on my knees and pray to something I don't see. It's like me praying to Santa Claus. Which honestly, Santa Claus was used as a god. You know what I mean? So why would I sit there and somebody force me to believe in something because they want me to believe in him and get mad at me because I don't follow whatever they do? Because Christians are not even supposed to be celebrating Christmas. They're really not supposed to be celebrating holidays. But guess what Christians do? They celebrate holidays. You know what I mean? How do you celebrate Halloween? How do you celebrate motherfucking Valentine's Day knowing it's a blood sacrifice? Because the person that actually named was Saint Valentine's was beheaded. And the name that you're seeing that they use now is supposed to be Saint Valentine's. It's not supposed to be Valentine's Day. It's supposed to be Saint Valentine's Day. Halloween was created in the 1800s for little kids to wear masks, but they didn't really get candy. But they started giving out candy, but they were wearing these ugly ass masks. Like scary motherfucking masks. They made it into a holiday. How do you make Halloween into a holiday? You don't even know when Jesus rose from the grave. But you created Easter. You know that we are going by the Roman calendar. We're using the Roman calendar. It's only 12 months. So they had to take Christmas and put it as an end year. Because they believe that's when Jesus was born. Even though Jesus wasn't born on that day, but they believe that. So they put it as an end day. Like the Mayans. The Mayans even used their calendar. We used to use the Mayan calendar. I don't know what happened to that. because we used to use by summer solstice every 75 years. Just like they did during when Jesus was born, 75 years. Just like the Egyptians used the Star of David, 75 years. But they needed to use the Roman. We use the Roman calendar because we're going by a cycle of the zodiac, and zodiacs are gods. So why do you believe in God and pray to God, but you call yourself a Scorpio, or you call yourself a Taurus, or you call yourself all these different zodiacs, knowing that they're gods, right? So when you're born on my day of the day of the month of the Taurus, you're also using, I forgot what my I think I'm a ruby or something like that. Just like they will say that Jesus was born, when they will use September as a way of saying the rapture, it was a sapphire, because my sister's birthday is the 8th of September, and my daughter mom's is the 3rd. No, my sister's is the 8th of September, so her rock is a sapphire. But they were using all this shit to add up to the rapture. I'm like, they're using all this shit for Jesus to open up a fucking door, to peek his head out and say, hey, everybody, I'm here. I'm coming to get you. I'm not taking your ass. Most definitely taking your dirty ass. I ain't taking that motherfucker over there. That motherfucker smoking crack. Damn, she got fat ass. I'm taking her right there. Yo, tell that girl with the big titties to come over here too. I don't remember her name. I think I created her years ago. Yeah, her right there. You know, it's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just using it that. And it was funny when somebody told me that Jesus was late because he got locked up by ICE. Because he was an immigrant. That shit was funny when they said Jesus got locked up by ICE. That shit was funny. But it's true, man. Like, is he an immigrant? He's a Jew, right? Like, he's an immigrant. But like I said before, like, and the funny thing about it is that Mary got pregnant at 14, and they celebrate Mary being pregnant by God. How old's God? Like 3 million, billion years old? Trillion, billion years old? And this motherfucker got her pregnant. Is that statutory rape? I'm wondering, because it's crazy. Like, and then you had Joseph. Joseph was like in his 30s when he met Mary, and Mary was like 14, and he was about to get it in with her, and he found out she was pregnant. And like I said before, Mary should have been stoned to death, because in them times, if you're not married and you were pregnant, they will say you not committed adultery, you cheated. You fornicated before you had an opportunity to fornicate with your husband, because she wasn't even married to him yet. They were about to get married. And then he found out she was pregnant. Now, Joseph was supposed to tell everybody that she was pregnant. But she said, no, I got pregnant by God. He didn't believe her at first. But the thing about it is that she's supposed to take her, they're supposed to dig a hole, put Mary in the hole, bury Mary up to her neck. And they're supposed to have these little kids that will get rocks. And they will hand a rock, the biggest rock, to the husband. And the husband will throw the first rock. That's why you hear Jesus saying, whoever first to cast stone, whoever first, throw the first stone. You know what I mean? He without sin cast the first stone. He's talking about the man throwing the stone at the woman and killing the woman with the stone. And that was supposed to happen, because he was going to do it to Mary Magdalene too. Mary Magdalene was supposed to be stoned to death. But Jesus saved her life. But think about it. In them times of adultery, and not adultery, men lying about their wives committing adultery, because a lot of men cheated on their wives at that time because they didn't love their wives as much, and there was a lot of women flirting with a lot of men that was written. A lot of men were flirting with a lot of women at the time. So they took a lot of the women and they would actually kill them. A lot of women were killed back in that time, murdered by their own husbands, because their husbands didn't feel like they did not appreciate them, because women were looked down upon. They didn't have no rights. They were walking around pregnant and barefoot. So basically they had like 10 kids. The wife will take care of the 10 kids. The husband can go out and do anything he fucking wanted to, because there was no law for the man to actually be, if he get a divorce, there was no such thing as divorce, because if a woman got a divorce from her husband, well, if he died, she had to marry within the family. So she couldn't go out there and meet her own husband. She would have to marry somebody within the family. So she would have to marry the next to, like the brother or the uncle or the cousin. She would have to marry. And it was sad, like how they treated women, dog. It was, and if Mary was treated was really treated good, it's a shame, because Mary wasn't treated good. Mary was really treated bad. You know what I mean? And in them times, and you can even see if they didn't know Mary had the issue with being pregnant by someone else, that she got away with it. Because in them times, they would have killed her. And Joseph would have been the tattleteller. But Joseph disappeared in the Bible anyway. We don't know what the fuck happened to him. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, well, that's Jesus' father. No, it is not. It's not Jesus' father. It's not no bloodline. Jesus didn't have no bloodline with Joseph. I mean, that's the reason why I don't understand why people just don't see the truth, man. Like, it's so sad the way the world is today. It's so sad that your opinions don't fucking matter to nobody anymore. You know what I mean? And people thinking I'm trying to destroy a religion that I don't really, honestly, I don't give a fuck about. But the thing about it is that when you're trying to change somebody into something that you want to change them, it's unfair. It's not right to try to force somebody into something that they don't want to follow. Like I said before, if I want to follow Christianity, I follow Christianity like I did when I was a young kid. But I changed my mind when I got older because I started seeing things that people have never seen. You know, there's a lot of people out there that change their mind quickly about Christianity. It's not even about the rapture. It's about things that they see, go through, you know, people say, and there's a cult. And you see all these different cultists around the world doing some crazy shit, saying that they're Jesus and they're God. You know what I mean? Walking around and having all these followers. It's a shame that you got churches that got so many people in these churches and they don't know they're a part of a cult. Because that's what they make their money off of. They make money off of people that are weak. Like, that's what they did to people that were uneducated and did not have no type of, they were illiterate. They will take them, use their illiteracy against them. Like, if they didn't know how to read or write, they gave them the Bible. Told them, look, read this. Okay. And it would teach you to have Bible study and everything and force them to read these books. And it's crazy. It's sad. Like, and the hate that people have for me is so crazy, yo. I never knew people hated me for my own opinion. Like, people really hate me for my own opinion. I had people attack me. I had people judge me. And I never judged anybody because I'm just saying, like, this is my opinion. If you have your opinion about you believing in God, you believe in God. That's your opinion. That's your right. It's the First Amendment. I mean, you have a right. You have the right to do anything you want. You got the first, I think the fifth, whatever amendment. You actually have the right to protest. You have the right to believe in anything you fucking want. This is why it's a free country. But people don't want people to actually go back and forth. They don't want to, like, if I ask you a question about why do you believe in God, people get mad at me. Or why are you asking me that question? Because it's a question. Like, you would ask me why I like video games. And I will answer your question. You know what I mean? Because it's a question. I'm going to answer it the best way I can. Now, you might not like the answer. Now, I might not like the answer you give me, because that's what it's called, debating. But I'm not going to try to destroy your answer by calling you names and picking with you and calling you and doing. And I mean, it's so crazy that I can never, ever have a conversation on social media because I don't get nobody watching my videos, or I have people criticize me for what I say. I don't get 1,000 followers. I don't get 1,000 likes. I don't get 1,000 comments. I don't get none of that shit. You know, I mean, I get a couple of likes here and there. I probably get like 1,000. Probably people who like watch my video, maybe under 1,000, maybe 100, maybe 50, 60. But a lot of people don't watch my videos. I don't get a lot of respect from people. I got a lot more hate than I do get respect because I don't tag along with everybody. I mean, like I tell you before, I'm a very quiet person, but I'm a very blunt person. I'm a very real motherfucker. I speak my mind anytime I fucking want. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm very, very blunt, and I'm very, very straightforward. When I don't see something, I question things a lot, and people don't like to be questioned. That's the reason why a lot of people say, "Oh, why are you questioning me?" Well, I'm questioning you because I want just an answer. You don't have to give me a direct answer. Just give me something that I could just rely on. You know what I mean? So I can understand. No, man, I'm good. I'm good. Like, a question about how God exists. Why do you believe in God? Like, that's not hard to answer. People lie most of the time about giving me their answer. And I'll be like, okay, cool, well, whatever. It's your choice. I'm not trying to get on you why you believe. It's your choice. And I'm going to keep on letting you allow you to have your choices. I'm off this thing. Like I said before, people hate me for no reason. I don't understand why people hate me. I never did anything to anybody. People dislike me for nothing. People judge me for nothing. Just because, like I said before, I'm not following the fucking leader. I'm not fucking dragging myself on somebody's belt or somebody's penis. I'm not doing that. I have my own questions, and I would people like to answer them, but people want to answer my questions if they don't want to. I don't get mad at people that don't answer my questions. I don't get on them and yelling and cursing them the fuck out. I just don't understand why people do things sometimes. The way the world works today is so crazy. After the pandemic happened, you see everything is going downhill, dog. Everything is going fucking downhill. And it's not even the president. It's other things that are going on. Everything's going downhill. And people see it, but people want to pretend like it's not happening. Because it's not happening to them. Because like I said, people are selfish. And people only want to blame the devil. But we never want to blame ourselves for the shit that we have done throughout our lifetime in our history. It's crazy. Being a black man is hard enough. I mean, being a black man, black woman, and a black child is hard enough. Living in a country that once is not even here. They're trying to get rid of us. They're trying to kick us out of this country. But we're supposed to be on each other's side, but we're not. And this is what I say, the belief system of God. How do you believe in God, but you don't even trust the next person next to you? It says in the Bible, honor thy neighbor. Like, you know? But nobody protects their neighbor at all. They judge their neighbor. They hate their neighbor. They fucking despise their neighbor. For what reason that I don't understand and I will never know. I never did anything to anybody for even people to not like me. Because I'm just blunt. And I ask a lot of questions. And I like making videos because I don't understand what people are going through nowadays, because people are weird. In a sense of being weird, not because I'm judging them because of the way they dress or the way they look. I'm judging because of the way they think. Because us as human beings, we should not be acting like this. We should be rich together. We should be making a lot of money together. We should be doing a lot of shit together. We should have this. Number one, Earth shouldn't even fucking look like this. The United States shouldn't even be looking like this. We should build this country together, but we don't do that. Blacks hate blacks, white hates whites. All cultures just don't like each other. And then you're going by the judgment of one culture. And then a big explosion of people wanting to leave Earth because they hate this planet so much. Even though we could take care of this planet and make this planet a beautiful planet like it used to be. But now we are so obsessed with religion and power and money. We don't know how to control. And then once we got through the pandemic, then we start getting these needles. Then we just forgot how to live. Now everybody's poor. Everybody's saying they're lonely. Everybody's saying that they broke. Everybody's saying they're having problems with females. Females are having problems with males. It's crazy how everything is going now. Everybody wants to be religious. Because that's the only thing that we can feel comfortable doing is being religious. That's all we can feel comfortable being. Is looking for a God. Or looking for a Jesus to save us. Because that's what we look for. Like we look through the leaders that we had in the past. That we used to follow. Like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. And all of them we used to follow to the day we died. We followed these motherfuckers. And next thing you know, they're gone. Then we get the Tupacs. And then we get all these other leaders that try to be leaders and they're gone. Now we only have one other leader to follow. It's God. So we had to take and snatch their religion away from them to make it our own so we can have somebody to follow. It's crazy. It's sad, man. Living on this planet. I love Earth to death, dog. It's crazy how we treated this planet. It's crazy how we treated people. We're going to continuously do this shit because racism will never go away. Hate will never go away. People telling you that you're lying, it will never go away. Because how am I lying? I do my research. Like, I love history. I love it. I don't want to be right all the time. Sometimes I look at this like, goddamn, that's some crazy shit. Things happened in the past that's really repeating itself to this very fucking day. And that rapture shit repeated itself again. After the other 5 times that it happened. And now, all of a sudden, people that were talking rapture disappears. They like, you don't see them no more. They don't talk no more. They keep their mouths shut. They don't say nothing. Or they're afraid to apologize. And I'm not saying you gotta apologize, because I don't know why they're apologizing in the first place, because, you know what I mean, it's not your fault that the rapture didn't happen. You know, it was that dude that was talking about rapture. that was going to happen. Y'all should blame him, not blame. You don't apologize to the people out there. Like, what would you say after it doesn't happen? You'd be like, okay, well, it didn't happen. You don't have to apologize to nobody. They wanted them to apologize. Like, why? Like, they didn't do anything wrong. That's what their religion is. Their religion is based on believing that they are going to go to heaven, no matter what. Rapture, end days, war, whatever. They believe they're going to go to heaven. They're going to believe they're going to go to heaven because they believe they're good people. So they don't have to apologize to no fucking body. I think it was right for some to apologize because they made people really that wasn't Christians. They made us feel real bad, like that we did something the fuck wrong, that we needed to fucking get off our high horse and start praying to God for some reason. And those are the ones that need to apologize, not the ones that didn't know. Because a lot of people didn't even know Rapture. I didn't know no Rapture was fucking happening. I didn't even know anything about the aliens until last week. I didn't know about Charles Clark being shot. I didn't know they had a fucking shooting at a school the same day. I didn't know that. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't care nothing about the news. I know it's all repeated bullshit. But when I heard about Charlie Clark dying, I'm like, damn. I watched a few videos about him. But the thing is that you're starting to see that this religious thing is starting because of him. Because everybody talking about he was a religious person. He believed in God and all this other kind of stuff. And also Donald Trump. Oh, he's a God-fearing man and all bullshit, which he's not. But that's how it all started. Because how is it that somebody was talking about Charlie Clark in tongue? And I'm like, damn, these fucking people are crazy. Up here. Like, I don't know what these people are going through, but they really do need help, dog. And I'm not talking about mental help. They really need to sit down and understand the way the world works. And understand how you just can't keep believing in something that you can't see. Now, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. But it's sad when you die, you're walking the earth, or maybe you'll be a cat or a dog or a flower, or you head to another planet somewhere thousands of light years away, and you become another human somewhere the fuck else. And you be like, God damn, there's no God. Because we want a God to exist. Because we don't have nobody else to follow. And if God exists, we can say, told you. Now I can follow him, and get to heaven. Don't need all that shit. You know what I mean? I believe my mother's God. I believe my father was a God. You know what I mean? Without them two, I wouldn't exist. Period. I'm off this thing, man. All the people that hate me and despise me, bless you. Because, I never did anything to y'all, for y'all that dislike me. And this is my first video I've done with my camera away from me. So, if y'all want to hate me for no reason, go ahead. Just remember, I got the First Amendment to say whatever I want to say. And I never question anybody of their belief system. Because they can choose whoever they want to pray to, whoever they want to follow, whoever they want to worship. It's a free country. And honestly, we need to have people that believe in whatever they believe in, because like I said, Donald Trump is trying to take everything from us. So we need to do something. If you got faith, keep your faith. Don't worry about me. Just let me say what I want to say, and you believe in your faith, you believe in your God, you believe in your Jesus. Just keep on believing, and that's what they don't stop because I said something, or many other people are saying the same thing that they don't believe. Just keep on believing who you believe and keep reading your book. That's all I gotta say.